With beautiful footwork and hypnotic moves, he danced his way into our hearts, and it's safe to say he is the most influential tap dancer of his generation.
True. And now actor, choreographer, and Tony Award winner Savion Glover is back on the stage with the return of his hit show, Steps. Welcome to Arise.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, so Steps, it is a hot show, and it was just here in New York this summer, and now it's back on the stage. And the New York Times even called your dance intense beauty and said that this is one Savion Glover show that everyone can enjoy. That's a rave review from the New York Times. So why did you decide to bring the show back?
Well, you know, I've been invited now for the past, I guess, 5 years to bring a production or new dance work to the Joyce Theater here in New York. So it was just part of my invitation, you know, from them to, again, bring new work to New York and to bring it to the Joyce, the home of dance.
Now, when I interviewed you years ago for the New York Times, you told me that you can lose anywhere from 2 to 3 pounds an evening dancing. Is that still true?
How long ago was that interview?
It was maybe about 6 or 7 years ago, and it was actually at the Joyce.
Oh, yeah? Oh, I may have been saying...
I'm glad you remember.
You know, I never, like, measured or, you know, people say I should wear those...
fit bands and things like that.
To see how many calories and whatnot I lose per performance, but I've never measured. So I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
No.
But it's safe to say you break a sweat.
I do break a sweat, yes. That is very safe to say.
So besides a lot of sweat, what can audiences expect from this show?
From Steps, you know, it's basically, you know, I have no choice at this point in my life and throughout my whole journey as a tap dancer. My mission and goal and proud privilege is to always pay respects and pay tribute to the men and women who have paved the way and have come before us. So Steps is a combination of course, me doing that. We're, I want to say, reintroducing the staircase, dancing on staircases like some of the greatest dancers of our times have done. The Nicholas brothers, the great Berry brothers, of course, Bilbo Jangles, Robinson, and you know, the Clark brothers, Miller brothers and Lois. We've had so many great dance acts who have lent their energy to stair dancing or tap dancing on stairs. So I just wanted to allow us to remember them, but through the energy of today, myself and Marshall and the 3 other ladies in the company.
But some of your footwork on the steps seems a little dangerous. Are you ever afraid you're going to twist the ankle? Are your feet insured?
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Actually, I'm challenged by my comrade, Marshall Davis. You know, we have so much fun. And I mean, I used to fall up the stairs as a child, so, you know, most people fall down. I fall going up the stairs, so, you know, it comes with the platform, you know. You got to take some risks, so I'm happy to be able to do that.
Well, that's one of the things that people love about you, because you're so fearless on the stage. Talk to us about your creative process. How does it work? Do you start with the tapping of the foot? Do you hear a melody and it inspires the feet to move? What's your process?
Man, my process is very much improvisational. You know, I can be on a train here in New York and I can see one of the street musicians and I say, hey, man, I want to connect. And next, you know, our next performance will be myself and a street performer, something like that. I'm just inspired by life. I'm inspired by sound and movement and everything. So when you ask what comes first, I guess the idea would come first. And then I don't like to do a lot of rehearsing. You know, I like to, you know, maybe we meet with the person or the group and say, hey, you know, you want to try this direction, or maybe we'll do this, and, you know, get on stage and figure it out. Now, unless it's something that has to be choreographed, of course, then we'll bring in the dancers or what have you. But I guess it's the idea first, and then you live with that for a moment, and then put it to test.
Wow.
You know?
And now you're celebrating 30 years in show business as what you call a hoofer. So what is a hoofer? Explain that.
I'm glad you asked. A hoofer. I have to begin to sort of explain this now because...
Okay, break it on down.
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is the platform, but you stop me if I'm getting too
deep.
Too deep.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Okay, so the hoofer, the word itself, has become just, I believe, blown out of proportion, if you would say.
Okay.
So the hoofers were a group of men who called themselves the Hoofers. The great Lon Chaney, Jimmy Slide, you know, George Hillman, Bernard Manners, these people, it was a group called the Hoofers. 100 years later, media and people like this sort of, they took this word and said, this is a style of dance. So it turned into a style of dance versus a group of men who called themselves the Hoofers. Now you can look in a dictionary or Wikipedia or what have you, and it says Hoofer, a dancer in flat shoes, or Hoofer, a tap dancer with close footwork or rhythm, or it's these odd definitions. And it sort of discredits the men who were the Hoofers. So now it's like, you know, kids and all over can just say, I'm a Hoofer, I'm a Hoofer, I'm a Hoofer. You know, it's like the Rolling Stones. You can go to as many Rolling Stones concert or sing as many songs as you want. You're not a Rolling Stone.
Yes, very good point.
So I'm on, I guess, another course or mission to sort of reclaim this name for these men.
Honor their legacy.
Honor the legacy,
Okay.
and allow us to just be tap dancers. So I'm a tap dancer.
You're a tap dancer.
I'm a tap dancer. Now, unless they did have certain dancers that they invited to be a part of this group, and they said, hey, you are a Hoofer. Hey, you are a Hoofer. You can be a Hoofer. But
and you're actually now training the next generation of tap dancers and Hoofers. Talk to us about your school.
Yes, my school is a study place. We basically deal with dance education, dance as an education, sort of a holistic approach to dance. And we're not looking to produce the next best tap dancer as far as the footwork goes. I try to allow them an understanding of the dance and why they would want to tap dance, and then allow them to express themselves. You know, so it's a study place. We also have a small performance space in the building as well.
And it's great that they can look at your success and see where you've come from, because you started tapping on Broadway at 12 years old.
Yeah.
Most people are just learning how to tap at 12. You're on Broadway. How did that experience change your life?
Well, I mean, you know, growing up, being born and raised in Newark, New Jersey, it was quite a thing to, you know, even from my early stages of dance, going to Hines and Hatchett, just lost the great Frank Hatchett, but going to his studio from New York, from Newark to New York, you know, it wasn't about the dance in the beginning for me. It was just about going to New York. It wasn't until I was able to meet these great men and women of the dance or of the art form, that is when my life began to change.
And
so,
by the greats, you mean the Gregory Hines
the
of
Gregory
the world,
Hines,
the Sammy Davis
the Sammy
Jr.'s.
Davis, the Jimmy Slides, the Lon Chaneys, all of these great performers, the Nicholas brothers, all of these great men and women that I had the opportunity to meet. So, you know, the experience, or during the Tap Dance Kid, you know, I was ready to get back home, you know, to play basketball where I was from. You know, it didn't affect me at all. I was, of course, honored and happy to have landed the role and to be on Broadway in several productions, but it didn't change my life much.
And before you go, you have to tell us where and when we can catch your new show, Steps.
We're going to start again on tour. We're going to go like to Chicago, and we'll be back towards this way, Providence, Rhode Island. That's all going to start January 24th.
Wow.
Wow,
Okay.
right around the corner.
Right around the
Yes.
All right, get your toesies ready.
Yeah, get them ready.
Well, Savion, thank you so much for
Yes,
being
ma'am. Thank
here. You were fantastic. Thank you,
Thank you.
and
Thank
Happy
you.
New Year.
Happy
Yeah,
New
Happy
Year.
New
And
Year.
good luck with the tour.
Yeah, good. Thank
All
you.
right, you're watching Arise Entertainment 360.